All right, and we are live now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 80th of Global Citizens. My name is Calvin. I am the show's host, and of course, I'm also its creator. So, yes, my guest for today is actually somebody whom, if you had followed me from last year onwards, I was actually hosting an event from Indonesian Startup Insight. One of my panelists at that time was actually not able to make it, and now I actually want to give him his own spotlight so that he can share his personal insights and his own experience. So my guest for today is Mr. Rudy Fang. Rudy is a serial entrepreneur who is the founder, shareholder, director of SBC Group, which currently runs business in wealth management, banking, information technology, trading, export, import, tourism, and education in Southeast Asia and Central Asia regions. Along with that, he has wear multiple hats such as business consultant, business mentor, lecturer, trainer, and something that I am particularly interested about is because we actually shared the same background. Rudy is actually originally from Indonesia. He is now a Singapore citizen, and well, we share this particular background. So, welcome to the show, Rudy. How are you?
Thank you, Kelvin. Quite a lengthy intro. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to join you in this show. It's a
I
very
hope
good
I do enough
opportunity.
justice. I hope I do enough justice. Your resume is too much if I just shorten it up.
Yeah, yeah. It's good. Thank you very much. And yeah, I feel very good today. Yeah, good weather in Singapore. I hope also good weather in Jakarta.
It has been raining for
Oh, really?
almost every day. Yeah, it was raining this
Oh, okay.
morning. I haven't been able to do my usual morning jog for quite a bit,
Okay.
so that's quite frustrating. But
Ah,
I think it's something that at least in a sense, 2021 so far has not been a bad start compared to last year.
oh yes, yes, indeed. Yeah. So we hope that everything will be better.
Yes, hopefully I can visit Singapore soon.
Yes, yes, you should. You should.
All right, so we will now begin with the very first question. Okay, so this is something I like to ask entrepreneurs first, and it is you need to rank something. And okay, so my first question is this: how would you rank this? Money, information, and empathy in today's business and life.
Very, very interesting question, Kelvin. I think this is really good question. If I were to rank it, right, based on my personal values and also what we do in the business, I would say number one is empathy. Number
Okay.
two is information, and the last one is money.
Okay.
I mean, this may be interesting for a lot of other people. I think I should explain to you why I rank it
Please,
this way, right?
please.
I think let's start from number three. Why not money? I think everybody in the business always say that okay, business is to make profit, right? To
Yeah.
make money. Yeah. But throughout my experience, when I've been in the business, I've been working for corporates. I've been working also as trainer, a coach, etc. Money is really difficult to deal with, right? And what a lot of people do with money. I mean, we learn in economics. I was also from Faculty of Economics of University of Indonesia. We learn what is money, right? And today, a lot of people want to get more and more money, and this is where the money as definition has changed over time, right? People really don't think about anything else but make money. So it can be very frustrating. What we want to do as a business and also as a personal, I believe that money definition should be returned to the simplest definition as a medium of exchange, which is to help us to do barter, but nothing else. Because if you look for money, then you will forget about anything else. You'll forget about your neighbors. You'll forget about life. You'll forget about virus. You'll forget about anything else. Number two is information, because in today's era, data information is everything, right? So if we don't have data, we don't have information, we can't make good decision. It is not like my grandpa or my father's time even, where they can make decision because of experience. It is not enough anymore, right? And I think empathy is number one in our business and life now. For many years already. Empathy is really then what makes us human, right? What makes us different from AI, from robot, from Google, from Facebook, right? So if you don't have empathy, I would say that we lose our humanity, and that is very dangerous. Thank you, Kelvin.
Yeah. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned something regarding virus. When we were hosting the Indonesian Startup Insight, there was actually one of the event whereby somebody managed to say that, oh, they've known somebody that if I rather die than give up my business or turning it into a technology. So I think you really prove a point there, because now it's because by just focusing on what is something that has been working to make money, then you forget about everything else.
Yes, yes. I think that's the danger, right? Hence, I rank it the last
Absolutely.
one.
All right. Okay, for those of you who just tuned in to the show for the very first time, Global Citizens is an online platform whereby I invited people who has experienced life as a global citizens. So primarily, we advocated third culture kids. Reason being is that I am one. Basically, it's because I grew up outside of my own passport country and my own parents' culture for over 10 years. Along with that, of course, I invited people who has experienced a global citizen's life and somebody who has lived this particular lifestyle, because I want people to understand this is not an extended vacation. This is a life whereby we live, and a lot of time we need to change how we speak, how we talk, how we communicate, and even sometimes our mindset, and even how we prioritize our certain ambition. So yeah, all right. So I will pass the platform back to Rudy with my second question, though. Do you mind sharing with us about your own entrepreneurship journey and what is the reality of it? And just to let you guys know, this is actually Azan time in Indonesia, so you guys might hear prayers at the back.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the question, Kelvin. My parents are businessmen, and businesswoman. My mom. So all the kids help parents since we are very young, right? So that's where I should say I started my entrepreneurship journey, right? Maybe when I was primary one, so we started to help parents, and then I remember that in my primary school, we were taught to make a salted egg, yeah. And in fact, I did a lot of salted egg after that, and I sold it to my friends and my neighbors. Okay, so it was in the primary school, and then in the secondary school, I started to sell more products, balloons, textbooks, and everything, and I set up also cooperative in my high school. And in my uni is even more, right? So I think it's a lifetime journey for me. And of course, then after that, then once I graduated from university and I went into corporate life, it is less time to do business. So for about 10 or years, I focus on learning from big companies like Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank, IT companies, Sun Microsystem at that point of time, Wincon, etc., to learn how to do management, how to do business management, how to do international business, right? And after that, then I got tired with my corporate life, and then I restarted my entrepreneurship journey. So it is actually a whole life journey, I would say. And then the past 2.5, 3 years before COVID, we started our journey in Central Asia, a new region, a new area, which probably a lot of people have not visited, right? So I would say it is really challenging. Entrepreneurship is never easy, and especially there are a lot of failures, there are a lot of downs, there are a lot of also being cheated, of course, in the business. Yeah. So also it's challenging, but yet I would say that I still encourage people, all my students, to be entrepreneur if possible, because it is also very rewarding journey. So we learn a lot, we meet a lot of people, we see a lot of culture, we talk about many things, and I think this is really enriching as a human being. So we learn a lot from business. Yeah. Thank you.
I think through difficult situation is where we actually discover ourselves a lot more. Because when everything is easy, we don't learn anything new. But when we encounter challenges, we encounter difficulty, then we realize, oh, we actually can do this, or we need to develop a certain skill that we don't know we actually are very good at it. And this is something I actually ask is because nowadays is that there's a rise of entrepreneurship, and well, people have access to social media, which is the biggest thing in this world now. But the thing is that when you see social media, you always see all the beautiful aspect to it, like, oh, financial freedom, everybody, you can take a holiday every time. But it's definitely not that easy, right? I mean, from your own
Yes.
experience.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. For those who could be interested, maybe just to let you know that you have some of Rudy's social links, such as his LinkedIn and his Twitter, which is located in the description box. If you guys are interested, do reach out to him. Maybe you can learn a thing or two, or maybe you guys are hoping that his insight is something that that can help improve your own business, or maybe you just want to jump into our entrepreneurship at this very moment. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I actually now need to ask something, which is actually based on some of the questions that you actually didn't manage to give your insights to the last time, and
Right.
that is intercultural versus local collaboration. So I deal with intercultural related area because when I moved back from Singapore to in Jakarta now, not at that time I didn't intend to do it for a very long term. It's just because I was taking a gap year. Then I was actually going back to Singapore in 2020 when Corona starts happening. So so yeah, that's nice. I have no choice about that. But the thing is that when I was back here, I have so much difficulty dealing with the different cultures. Is because in Indonesia, the priority is more to socializing first than doing the business, which is the opposite of the one in Singapore. So, do you mind telling with us about your own experience with that?
I think if you compare intercultural and local collaboration, I think people should see also the background of this person or the business. But in my experience, of course, and most of my experience are international, which mean intercultural. I think it's very important today that people understand the word. It is not a big word anymore. It is actually a small village, right? So when you are a small village, uh, you really have to be intercultural savvy. You have to understand what people are talking about in the world. You have to understand what different people from different culture, probably different religion, different races do and talk about. So my suggestion to startups, especially when we talk about startups, right? Take example in Indonesia, when you start a startup, a lot of startup always tell me that we want to start with Indonesia first, and one day we probably want to go international. Why? Because Indonesia has 270 million people. It's a huge market. And people
Yep.
always say that, okay, I can't even finish Indonesia market, right? Why would I go international? But the issue is, as mentioned earlier, you are not living in the big world anymore, but you are living in the small village because of the technology, because all the advancement, especially now in pandemic era, well everybody now get even closer through Zoom or through meetings or through streaming like this. You can't just be a local guy anymore, right? The
Yep.
danger is this: if you set up a startup in Indonesia, and then you just want to serve your city or your province, for example, or probably just to cover the whole Indonesia, you forget that Indonesia is such a big market that a lot of people around the world want the same market also, right?
Yep.
So if you don't go out foreigners will come into Indonesia, and then they will create competition, and you have no choice, right? You just have to compete with these international guys, and if you don't understand intercultural, and if you don't do collaboration with foreigners, you will have tough time in your business.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I think it's very important to just put in context. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Though,
Yeah.
can I ask though, because the thing is that different culture has different ways of doing things, different kind of personalities. I mean, like I mentioned, one of the issue when I came back to Indonesia is because, well, I just can't understand the mindset. Is because the people who are local tend to focus on socializing more as compared to doing the work more. Like when my first ever go-kart ride, the Indonesian hired vehicle transportation here, the driver, when the first 5 minutes, when I just jumped into the vehicle, he asked me, "Hello, how are you? Have you eaten? Are you married? Where are you from?"
Okay.
Five
Okay.
minutes. I'm like, "Excuse me? Huh? Why do you ask me this? I don't know who are you." And
Yeah.
respectfully, I'm not trying to make friends with you. I just want you to send me to where I have already booked where I need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if this is Indonesian, maybe they'll be like, it's normal. It's just something that we all always do. But the thing is that if you are, let's say you're a foreigner, you don't know why is this particular custom, and then you start getting suspicious about it, is because it's something that
Yeah.
is not natural to them, then it's gonna reflect badly on your own nation. Is because, well, they will expect that this is how they would be treated, and
Yeah.
well, they would not be comfortable with strangers, right? What would
Yes.
you advise on this?
I think it's really the intercultural collaboration again, and a lot of people last time talk about multicultural awareness, right? So if you go to
Yep.
corporate, they will give you a lot of training on multicultural awareness. Of course, small companies will find it difficult because of the resources limitation. But today we don't talk about multicultural awareness anymore, because awareness alone is not enough. Now we are talking about multicultural savviness, where you can swing, you can adapt, you will be very agile in terms of culture. So take example from my experience, when I talk to take example people in UK or in Germany, you don't talk about business directly, right? Not like Singaporean or not like Hong Kong, where we
Yeah.
just jump to business discussion, and they want to talk take example about soccer, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm not a soccer fans, okay, but to be able in the conversation with these guys, even in Indonesia, people love to talk about soccer. So I need to understand, okay, what is
Yeah, but
the
unlike those two
league?
countries, our soccer is not very good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
what I learned, right? So I
Yeah.
need to learn about soccer, so I can talk about. Then I use my name. For example, in Holland, there's a Ruud Gullit long time ago,
Yeah.
and
Yes. I
there's a
am familiar
Rudy
with it.
Foller in Germany long time ago. So I will do that. And then, for example, if you go to Australia, then we are talking about how's the weather, how's the sunshine, how's the
Yeah.
bird. Okay, let's talk about the sunshine for 30 minutes before we talk about business. I mean, this is very natural, and that is where we say that we have to learn about this multicultural savviness now to do business,
Yep.
because we have to be able to swing. If I talk to Indonesian and suddenly have to talk to Malaysian,
Yeah.
uh, I have to be able to swing, right?
Yeah.
And to
Absolutely.
adjust
Absolutely.
myself. So this is not easy. And of course, then some of this can be done in training, but a lot of this is actually be done in experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is something that third culture kids is actually quite familiar with, because I mean, I only have to deal with two home growing up, which is Indonesia and Singapore.
Yeah.
But the record on the show, like for example, I've known somebody who has lived in 12 different countries, and
Yeah.
well, they have to adapt to all the different kinds of mindset easily. And well, I think this is something that I think there needs to be well, as you mentioned, is awareness is not enough. There has to be a sort of savviness to it. Like
Yes,
there has to be, I think, hopefully this is something that can be done moving forward, like a kind of workshop or something. I don't
certainly,
know.
certainly, certainly. I think this is what, of course, then in my life, I've visited so many countries during my studies and during my work with the banks. We are always sent to different countries for different meetings. And of
Yeah,
course, then in my business with Southeast Asia and Central Asia, I've visited a lot of countries many times, right?
yeah,
So I need those ability to survive in those
absolutely,
environment, right? So I think this is what we can share. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, with regards to the sharing part, yeah. Nowadays, one of the most important thing is, of course, technology, and because this is the fastest way for us to, in a sense, share or in a sense to gain knowledge, is because the access is no longer you opening up a giant thesaurus or dictionary to find out something interesting. But the
Yeah.
thing is that all you have to do is just click the apps for Google. You click what you want to ask, and then boom, there's at least 100 articles about it. So why is it now that the digital collaboration will be most important, especially post-pandemic, after in what people like to call the new normal?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely very crucial. But before, of course, and before you can do digital collaboration, first of all, you have to be digitally savvy, right? So this is also a challenge that I've seen in my personal life, in business. A lot of people are not savvy, and you will have many kind of problems. Can be as easy as being hacked, being traced, or even at the business level. Then you will suffer a lot of loss, right? Because of this digital unpreparedness, right? And of course, then when you talk about the digital collaboration, of course, then we know this digital collaboration is needed for a long time already. I mean, this is part of the global trend, right? So a lot of people in a lot of countries, a lot of companies have been trying to do digital collaboration with many tools, right? Zoom is not just now; it's been a while, but people don't use it, right? Google has been there also. We have used Skype, we have used many things long time ago, but the pandemic really push everything, accelerated everything to that sense, right? So it is not new thing. We have been there, we have been prepared, but nothing really take off as what we see today. Uh, so I think yes, digital collaboration is definitely, and before that, then you have to be digitally savvy. You have to know what to do and what not to do. I mean, if you like people always ask me, and I always use this a very interesting concept. I will ask people, how many Facebook account that you have, how many Instagram account that you have. If you have only one Facebook and one Instagram, I call these people naive, right? Because if you watch the Dilemma movie in Netflix, and then you talk about all the fake videos, whatever, you will understand that internet is one of the most dangerous place on earth, right? It's more
Yeah,
dangerous than our real life. And if you
absolutely.
post everything in the internet, you have to be ready, right, to to take the consequence. And this is where I think a lot of people, when they want to do business, digital collaboration, they have to have enough savviness in terms of digital. They have to really understand what is inside internet and how are you going to do it. To me, internet is today, or digital today, is about survival of the fittest, right? So you either die or live. uh, if you don't do anything in the digital, you die. It's
Yeah,
just survival of the fittest, right?
absolutely.
Everything go digital, everything go AI, everything go to the blockchain. If you don't do anything over that places, you are dead. You are dinosaur, just like that.
Yeah,
So it's simple, right? Do it
yeah.
or die.
either you adapt or you perish. Yeah, I
Yes,
agree. I agree.
yes,
Okay, with regards to savviness, I know people within like my father's generation who understand that they need to adapt, they need to learn to use technology. But the thing is that the collaboration between my generation or even the generations after me and the previous generation is not always a smooth. It's not always something smooth because for one thing, like let's say when you're working with your father, it's because he's not only just your boss, he's also your father. So when there is issue, I mean like if in the office, if there's issue when you get out of the office, it's like okay, it's just a bad day at work. I can just carry on my day, I can just carry on my evening, then tomorrow I come back to
yes,
work. But when you are having an issue
yes,
with your father, who is also your boss, you see the person when you get home. Then after that, you are like, the anger got reminded again. And yes, they do
yes,
understand that they need to collaborate with you because you are the one who is much, the younger generations would be much more technically savvy, but they want you to do it in the same way that they do it. It's just that it's now interpreted in a technological form. Do you have any
yes.
advice on that?
I think it's always be an issue of a generational gap, right? In terms of understanding, in terms of values, in terms of expectation. Um, Generation baby boomer, like my generation, and even the millennials, and even now Gen Y and Gen Z, and now we have the Gen Alpha. We are all different because we are educated differently and we live in different time, right?
Yep.
So it is not easy to bridge this gap. But from my experience, also my personal experience, I think there is one thing that they can help us to communicate and bridge the gap, which is the vision. It's very important, and a lot of people don't really understand this. But for example, me and my father, right? We don't have to talk about a corporate vision, right? So what my father wanted, it was very simple. My father always said that I want all my children to be taller than me, okay, taller than me, bigger than me, live longer than me, and more successful than me, and more educated than me. I mean, that's the vision, right? So when we understand that my parent is like this, then we say, okay, now what we are going to do so that I will get what I want and you get what you want, right?
Yep.
So we discuss about it, right? So this is my suggestion. When we understand the different generational gap, expectation, value, etc., let's go back to our vision, our individual vision, and if possible, of course, then your company vision. And when we understand these two different visions, number one, ideally, you can match the vision, and then everything else will be easier to discuss. But if you can't really match the visions, which because they are so different, what you can do is really a compromise or negotiation where then you say, okay, now I want to get what I want, and you want to get what you want, right? Let's discuss it. I mean, even you're talking to grandpa, or in Singapore they call it uncles, right?
Yep.
They do understand this, and they will discuss with you. Okay, but by the way, then I'm now in Singapore called uncle every day, right? Because when people see me, oh uncle, where are you going, right? Uncle, what do you want to buy? Okay, so
I bet age
I'm,
is just a number, Rudy. Age is just a number. Example, like the title of this episode is actually based on one of Abraham Maslow's quote, and what a man must be, what a man should be, he must be. So
yeah,
I actually added it up, and well, because I wanted to focus on something which is more networking related. A lot of times is because people tell us that your network is your net worth. But the thing is
yes,
that a lot of time people don't really know how to use this particular network, because sometimes it's because you become close friends with the person maybe, or you don't know whether you really want to do the business. Then in the end you just ended up you just knowing a lot of people, but you never benefit out of it. So what would you advise for that, Rudy?
I think what I learned, number one, of course, then I truly believe that your network is your net worth. I think that's very true, because by the end of the day, take example, if you have product, and anybody can produce product, right? If you have
Yes.
services, anybody can copy your services, but to copy your network is probably impossible. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes your whole life to build your
Yes.
network, and people can't just copy it, right? So I think that stay with you, and that is your intellectual property.
Yes.
That's your asset. That's your capital, right? Rather than anything else. So I truly believe it. I think it's also interesting when you say that, okay, we have friends in our network, and how we turn this network to be also business network, right? I think this is also a question that a lot of people ask me, and then they're worried that, okay, now if I go to business with my friends, will I jeopardize my friendship? Will
Yep.
our friendship be a business relationship? And after that, then we are no longer friends. So my experience tell me that uh, uh, we should not live in different compartment, right? So our life, my life is only one, right? So when I see my friends, that's Rudy. When I do business, that's also Rudy. I should not have multiple identity. I'm Rudy A when I see my friend, and I'm Rudy B when I see my business people, right? So I'm just Rudy. And this is where I think a lot of people try to compartmentalize their life. They want to separate the business life and personal life, which I think is not possible, and it's not right from my angle. So we have to be true to ourselves. So I will tell my friend, for example, hey, okay, I have an idea for business. Then I know what you want to do, because we know each other for a long time, and you know me, you know my character, I know your character. Now, do you think that is a good idea for us to do business together? If yes, then let's do it. If no, that's okay, right? So some people, they have perception that a friend should not do business together. That's okay, but from my personal perspective, I would love to do business with my friends, right? My family members, if possible, because what, my life is only one. So I could be in the family, I could be in the friendship, I could be in the business, but there's only one Rudy, right? So that's how I manage so far this kind of perception. So I'm not worried at all about this. Well, friends can be good business partners. Good business partners can be also good friends. By the end of the day, we could start from either way. And as you see, a lot of family business actually doing well. I mean, some family business become terrible business, but there are also many family business that become very good business, and then the family members become even closer, right? Because they do family business. So I think that's okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree. I actually did tell a friend of mine, if we ever do in the business before, to actually do what you actually suggested, is that because not even friends, sometimes even with your own family members, when it comes to when money already comes into play, sometimes we got into argument. Okay, what's in the business stays in the business. It doesn't affect our personal relationship. It doesn't affect who we are outside of it. So if it fail, okay, we just close that chapter of the thing. So it's fine. We continue as who we are before we started it, because we already built a strong basic of friendship at the first
Yeah.
place before we even start doing business, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Yeah. So this is actually going to be my last question for you, Rudy.
Okay.
So, what are your visions though for the upcoming decade? How would
Yeah.
you feel that what you have been doing so far, how has been will impact the younger generations in perhaps Singapore? I think one of your other countries, Taiwan, and or even Indonesia. what would you hope your legacy to be? And if you don't mind, maybe we have that beautiful screen at your back, which is, I think, is your company logo.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
mind maybe
yeah,
sharing about it a bit?
yeah. Okay, so this is okay. I'll talk about it. All right. Um, I think what we want to do. I mean, me personally, as Rudy, and also my company, my group of companies, my business partners, all of us, in the business, we want to make money, right? We want to make profits, right? We are not yet social enterprise. We are not a non-profit organization, so profit is there. But what is important in our vision is that we should make good money, not bad money. I mean, this is what I want to emphasize and also share. A lot of people forget about this one when we talk about money in the first question, right? You can see that if you just want to make money, you can just go into this GameStop game, right? And buy and sell short or long, and one company makes $700 million just by playing the GameStop shares. And if you really want to just make money, there are many ways to just make money, right? But the danger is after that, then you don't have any other value. You just want to make money, and that is what we want to avoid. And sometimes when you want to make good money, for example, today, we are in the discussion of rich countries can buy vaccine, but poor countries can't buy vaccine, right? And all of this is about money. So you don't care about human life anymore. Now, we talk about now during the pandemic that a lot of people get a lot of problem. They don't have job, they don't have money, they don't have food. But if you can see the latest statistic, 1% of the richest in the world now, they probably control more than 30% or 40% of the entire world GDP. And these people getting richer and richer during pandemic, while most of people, they become poorer and poorer during pandemic. So when you talk about money only, then that becomes the issue. And then you talk about all the global warming issue and all the stuff. So my vision, which is also this company vision that I have the logo behind me, this is the Central Asia and Southeast Asia business chamber that we are going to launch soon. I will update you also, Kelvin, and I hope that you as the businessman probably will join us, and also we can ask all your network to join us and do business together, right? But what we want to do is really let's get good money, right? Not bad money. So this is what we are going to do. We will have a lot of business projects, a lot of business programs. But what we want to do is we also want to take care of, for example, United Nations SDG, yeah, the social development goals. We want to also take care ESG, the environment, social and corporate governance. So we don't want to be like Bill Gates, for example. I just mentioned Bill Gates because people know him, right? So
Yeah.
Bill Gates make a lot of money, and after that, then he stepped down from the business and run a social enterprise with billions of dollars. I would say you don't have to wait until you are old and then you start doing good, right? You can start doing good when you start your startup. When you start your
Yep.
startup, when you don't have money, you can start doing good. And this is what we want to do. So that's our vision, really. In the, we call it CASIA BC, Central Asia and Southeast Asia Business Center, Business Chamber. We have already set a goal. We call it Dream 2051. This will be interesting for our next discussion. So the Dream 2051 is a 30 years vision where we say, okay, let's do business together. And then in 30 years, you love Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? I am a big fan of Maslow. What we want to do is we tell people, don't look for money, because when you look for money, what do you want to do with the money? You want to buy food because you need to survive as a human being, right? You want
Yep.
to buy clothes because you need to survive. And in the winter time, in the winter countries, they really need clothes to survive. Otherwise, then they die. You need shelter because otherwise then you die. So this is Maslow basic needs, right?
Yep.
So what we want to do, let's work together, let's do business together, let's create supplies, products, services. But what we want to do is by the end of the day to ensure that our basic needs are actually fulfilled. So we have enough food, we have enough healthcare, we have enough shelter, we have enough clothing, and very important, we have enough education for everybody. So we want to start this with our small community in our business chamber, and after that, we hope that other people in the world, they will copy paste what we do, and then we hope that everybody will want to do this. We call it do good money, don't do bad money, right? So this is really what we want to do, and I hope young people, when they start the business, when they set up the startups, they start with this concept. So don't just look for money, but look for good money. And then what you want is you want all your basic needs fulfilled. So when you have enough fulfillment for your basic needs, so why do you need more money? Of course, then to have more money is good, but this is the problem. When you want to have more money, you will do what are the Wall Street people now doing with the GameStop, right? You will try to do a lot of things behind the scene, and then you just see a 24 years old in Australia got this blockchain scam, right? Cryptocurrency scam for a lot of money, and he's just 24 years old. So I think, Kelvin, this is really a message that we want to communicate to a lot of people within our business chamber network in 16 countries. And of course, then we want also a lot of people who are outside our network to also share the same vision. And hopefully we can work together, first of all, to change ourselves. And hopefully after that, then we can help other people to change their life.
Yep.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, very welcome. Very, very welcome. Well, I'm currently stuck in Jakarta, but I really do want to return back home to Singapore. I really would love
Definitely.
to, if there is something that I can do for you, and well, I can do it whether I'm in Singapore or I'm in Jakarta,
Yeah,
or even in Bali, wherever I am.
yeah,
So I would really love to be able to help out for that. So yeah, looking
definitely.
forward.
We will need your help and support, Kevin, and also your network. As we say, your network is your net worth, right? And this is where I think we want to combine our strength in 16 countries, so 10 countries in Southeast Asia, including Indonesia, of course,
Yep.
and 6 countries in Central Asia, where now the One Belt, One Road, or the Belt and Road project is actually going on, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, Kelvin, so let's work together and let's support each other and let's make good money together.
Yep. Looking
Yeah.
forward to that. I should change the title to "Let's Make Good Money."
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I would love that.
All right, that's actually all the questions that I have. First off, I need to send my thanks to some of those who leave a like for this, for the live video, which is Mr. Ivan and my buddy Ben Vogel. Along with that, I actually need to thank some individuals who I have left the like, but they will be tuning in a little bit later. The reason being is that, well, we have different time zones, and like usually in Asia, when it's morning, when in the European time zones, it's still really, really, really late. And it could be sometimes it's midnight for them. So yeah, along with that, I definitely need to thank Jamie Red Goodman. How are you, my friend? And Miss Jen Mohindra, who actually leave a like. And there's also a lady here that actually shared the post. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Rudy, I think she's a connection of yours. Is Miss Gulsum Tiliabavea? I hope I said the name correctly.
Yes. Miss Gulsum is our business partner in Uzbekistan.
Oh, Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and for those who tune in, also thank you so much for doing so. Do take yourself. There's also a $10 credit for StreamYard, which is the software that I'm using in order to do this live broadcast. So, for those of you who may be tuning in a little bit later, this live video will be on my own Facebook page, but the edited version will be available for my Instagram TV and also on my YouTube channel. And with that, I also need to thank Rudy for making the time to come here for today.
Thank you very much, Kelvin, for having me here. Really, really glad that we can have the streaming together, and then hope that we can also go to the next level in our collaboration in Central Asia and Southeast Asia.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Okay, and with that, that's the end of Global Citizens episode 80. How connecting and networking help something to be what it must be, but I think I might have to change the title to how to make good money.
Okay,
All right.
that's fantastic. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, Kelvin, and everybody else, all the friends. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.